Disclaimer: this YouTube channel does not claim ownership to any reference materials compiled, used and uploaded. The lecture notes and questionnaires researched from various resources and test bank foundations are not in any way or any form influenced by PRC. The intent of the video is to support future licensed professionals who choose to review online, in their journey towards their respective board examinations.
Okay, so good evening everyone. For today, we will have an assessment on the different topics that we discussed regarding curriculum development. The nature, concepts, purposes of curriculum, what else? Curriculum types and patterns, as well as the different approaches to curriculum, foundations of curriculum. And recently, we discussed also the curriculum development or the curriculum process or curriculum development process. So, yesterday, I have given this task for you to accomplish. So, let's go over each item of this practice test. Just maybe just check your own work and score yourself afterwards. So yun na lang, check nyo na lang yung, and then just share to me later on yung score. Okay po? So, let's start. The first one. Which of the following is not a provision for the development of each learner in a good curriculum? So take note, which is not a provision. A. Extensive arrangements are made for the educational diagnosis of individual learners. B. Self-directed independent study is encouraged wherever possible and advisable. C. Self-motivation and self-evaluation are stimulated and emphasized throughout the learning opportunities of the school. And D. The program provides a wide range of opportunities for individuals with the same abilities, needs, and interests. So, which is not a provision? The correct answer here is letter D. Okay? Because you notice the word not in the question above. So, this entails that the answer to the question is a provision or activity which does not promote the development of the learner. Kasi yung D, ang fino-focus lang dito is the individuals with the same abilities, needs, and interests. So, hindi yung provision ng good curriculum. Dapat, lahat ng learner or all of them. Hindi lang yung mga pare-pareho ng needs, abilities, and interests. Yung letter A is okay because it will help address the specific needs of the children. Kasi you need to diagnose. Diba? I-diagnosis muna yung mga individual learners para malaman mo ang kanilang kailangan. And then yung B and C naman, self-directed, independent. Yung C, self-motivation and evaluation. B and C highlights the ability of the children to construct their own learning. Okay? Because in here, it will enable them to develop their potentials to the fullest. Kaya yung A, B, C are provides the development of each learner as a good curriculum. So, letter D. Did you get po?
Yes po.
Number 2, Teacher Lily would like to take part in developing a subject-centered curriculum because she believes that all subjects in this type of curriculum are geared towards the holistic development of the learner. Is her belief about subject-centered curriculum true? Okay, let's see. A, because the subject-centered curriculum focuses on the learner's needs, interests, and abilities. O, tingnan nyo, subject-centered, pero nafo-focus sa learners. B, no, because it is experience-centered curriculum that emphasizes the teaching of facts and knowledge for future use. C, yes, because the subject-centered curriculum involves cooperative control. Or D, no, because it is the experience-centered and not the subject-centered curriculum that emphasizes integration of habits and skills in learning the knowledge component of subject areas. So, saan dyan yung belief? I mean, yung ginawa ni Teacher Lily, is it a subject-centered nga ba? Let's see. No. Okay? Kasi it is the experience-centered, not the subject-centered curriculum. Kasi she believes that all subjects in this type of curriculum are gearing towards the holistic development of the learner. Holistic kasi yon. Okay? Pag holistic development, when we say holistic, it covers physical, emotional, mental, moral development of the learners. So, pag ganun, this is possible under an experience-centered curriculum. So, hindi experience-centered yung, hindi subject-centered yung hinahanap niya, kundi experience-centered. Okay? And then, yung A and C naman, is still the consideration of learners' needs, interests, and abilities. Kasi, merong siyang cooperative practices in the classroom. And, experience-centered din. So, letter D. Yung belief niya is not subject-centered, but it is experience-centered instead. Number 3. In the elementary level, English literature and social studies relate well. While history is being studied, different literary pieces during historical period is being studied as well. What curriculum design is shown here? So, nasa curriculum design tayo. Is it a separate subject design, correlation design, discipline design, or is it a broad field design? May relationship, nire-relate. Yung English, nire-relate sa social studies. It is discipline design. Okay? Discipline design. Kasi, when subjects are related to one another, but individual subjects maintain their identity, that is a discipline design. Okay? Halimbawa, yun nga, yung English literature and social studies. Nag-aaral sila ng history, pero ang pinag-aral nila, mga literary pieces. So that is a literature. Okay? The literary pieces being studied in English reflect the culture, social activities, even the problems and issues in each historical period. So, history, social studies, na-relate siya sa English literature. Yung A, separate subject, correlation subject, they are compartmentalized. Naka-ano lang sila. Nasa cluster of topic, content, and academic disciplines lang sila. So, it's letter C, discipline design. Number 4. This phase of curriculum development involves decisions, among other things, on grade placement and sequencing of content. O saan yung nandun yung grade placement? Yung kinoconsider mo kung pang grade 5 ito, grade 5 lang. Kung pang grade 8, grade 8 lang. Which phase is this? A. Curriculum planning, evaluation, organization, or implementation? Letter C.
Yeah.
Curriculum organization, or what's the other term? Curriculum design. Diba? Curriculum design and or organization. Diba sa curriculum design, we have 5 sources, dimension, selection of curricular elements. Pang 4 yung grade placement. Tapos last is ano pa yung last? Time allotment. Time allotment ang number 5. Okay? So, letter C is correct. Next, number 5. One example of this design of subject-centered is that it shows social studies being combined with geography, civics, culture, and history to comprise subject area. So, iniisa nila. Halimbawa, ang tawag doon, social studies. Kasi, yun yung mga topics nakakapaloob. Which design is this? Is it a correlated, broad field, separate subject, or core design?
Broad field.
Okay. Correct answer is broad field. Okay. Ito ay under sila sa subject-centered curriculum. Subject-centered curriculum. So, broad field. Ito, ang daming questions about sa ganito, about the design. Kasi mostly sa curriculum development, mga designs ang lumalabas sa curriculum process. Kaya, i-master natin itong correlated, broad field, separate, and core. Same is true yung mga elements, criteria in selecting experiences, mga ganon.
Excuse me po, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Medyo lito kasi ako dun sa correlated. Hindi ko, paano ko siya maano na pag correlated.
Meron dito question, mamaya i-explain natin, ma'am. Ayan.
Sige.
Miss Ortiz, a science teacher, tries to enrich the content of her lesson by identifying related concept in math. What pattern of organizing subjects did Miss Ortiz consider? Ito po yun, yung correlation na sinasabi natin, ma'am. Ibang subject siya, pero ini-enrich niya yung subject, yung content ng kanyang lesson by identifying related concepts sa other subject. Kaya, correlate. Kino-correlate niya. So, dito, ang sagot ay correlated. So, it means it comes from a core, kasi correlation. And then, it links separate subjects. The design, just to reduce fragmentation. Subjects related to one another, but each subject maintains identity. Kung science pa din siya. Kung math pa din siya. Pero nire-relate lang nilang dalawa. Another example ng correlation ay chemistry. Yung subject mo is chemistry. Pero pwede mo siyang i-relate sa organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry. Pwede mo rin siyang i-relate sa physics. Okay? Pero chemistry pa din siya. Okay? So that is correlated.
Okay po.
Okay.
Tama rin naman po yung nasagot ko.
Yes. Next, number 7. Which design is easy to deliver because complementary books and materials are commercially available? Experience-centered design, problem design, process design, or subject-centered design? Easy to deliver. Kasi
Subject
sinandun na yung mga books eh. Okay, we have Subject-centered design. Ito yung pinaka-common na ginagamit actually sa mga curriculum designs kasi nga nagbe-base sila sa mga subjects. Kaya each subject may mga books na ginagamit because they believe that knowledge and content are integral part of the curriculum. So, yung mga textbook, they are written for a specific subject. Kaya ito ay subject-centered curriculum. Okay? And then, aside from that, they divide yung isang araw according kung ilang subjects meron. So, yun ang tinatawag nating subject-centered curriculum. And in this subject-centered curriculum, teacher has full control of the curriculum kasi siya ang nagtuturo ng subject. Kaya dito, controlled ng teacher. What refers to the matching between curriculum and the test to be used to assess the learners? Matching, minamatch yung curriculum at saka yung test to be used to assess the learners. So from the word matching, it is
alignment.
Yes, ina-align siya. Ito yung sinasabi nating curriculum alignment. Ina-align. Alignment between curriculum with other elements or with other standards or standardized tests. Let's say yung state exams dito, what else? Lesson plan sa iba, textbook and instruction. Ina-align nila just to assess. Number 9, Miss Mateo, a history teacher, considers the element of time in arranging the content of her lessons in world history. What way of establishing sequence is given emphasis by Miss Mateo? So, ang clue nyo dito, arranging content. Ina-arrange niya. Tapos, meron daw sequence. Di ba kung may sequence, ang tawag doon ay chronological. Di ba? Chronological arrangement. So, from A to Z, from 1 to 10, from 16th century to 21st century. Kasi, meron siyang sequence. Okay po. Number 10. Mr. Rivera, a new teacher, believes that education is a process of development and is life itself. Therefore, experience related to the child's need and interest should be given primary consideration. What educational philosophy is being exhibited by Mr. Rivera? So, ano ang clue mo dito? Experiences related to the child's needs and interests. Ano kaya yun? Idealism, reconstructionism, C. Progressivism, D. Realism. It is progressivism. Okay? Di ba ang progressivism, interest and needs of learners? Ano naman ang meron sa idealism? Pag idealism naman, they are focusing on yung
Spiritual.
yes,
Value.
yung religious and values. Value-oriented, mga ganon. Ano pa? Universal truth. Yung reconstructionism naman, they are more on rebuilding the society, remaking the society, rebuilding the culture.
New
And
society order.
Yes, order. Yung realism naman is more on world of ideas, yung mga fixed ideas within established subject matter. Okay? Yun yung mga clue nyo kasi minsan mahirap pag-anuhin kasi ang mga different philosophies. So, progressivism, ang clue nyo dun is interest and needs of the learner. Kaya number 10 is progressivism. 11. A stakeholder in curriculum development. Stakeholder means a part. Mr. Cruz, a district supervisor. O take note, district supervisor siya and a member of the school board. What is his primary role? A. Support and participate in parent-school organization activities. B. Authorize school expenditures for curriculum development, implementation, and evaluation. C. Enact legislation to effect curriculum improvement. And letter D. Recommend changes in curriculum. The correct answer is letter B. Recommend changes lang sila. Kasi district supervisor siya eh. Yung letter A, support and participate, yan ay para sa mga teachers. Parent school organization. Hindi naman sumasali yung district supervisor sa mga parent school organization. Yung authorized school expenditures, sa administrators yan, sa mga principal. Enact legislation, gawain yan ng mga lawmakers. Sila yung sa legislative department to effect curriculum. But, sa kanila, yung mga district supervisors, mga scholars, they recommend changes in the curriculum. Okay? Changes in the curriculum. Then yung about sa level of operations ng curriculum. Number 12. The schools in the first district plan to adopt the reading program used in the third district. What level of curriculum improvement is used? O yung District 1 daw, gagamitin niya yung reading program ng District 3. Anong level of curriculum? Is it variation, value orientation, substitution, or restructuring? Kung maalala nyo yung diagram natin, that we have substitution. Sa substitute lang nila. Hindi naman nila kasi pag variation, itatransfer na. Okay? Pag value orientation, shifting from instruction to computer assisted instruction. Yung kumbaga, yung from basic to advanced, parang ganon. Ang restructuring naman, restructure, yung may team na gagawa. They organize teams for teacher and specialist, and then papalitan nila yung curriculum. So, letter C, substitution. Sa substitute lang. Okay? I-adapt, kumbaga. Hindi naman siya totally na papalitan. Okay? That's the level of curriculum improvement. Mr. Bernardo, a curriculum consultant on economics, insists that in selecting the curriculum content, it is better that throughout the high school years, economic geography concepts be used to recur and be repeated with depth of effective learning. What criterion in content selection is shown? Yung gagamitin paulit-ulit yung concept ng economic geography from grade 7 to grade 10. We call it
Continuity.
Yes, letter B, continuity. Kasi yung validity, just to test if it is authentic. Yung significance naman, if it is consistent or relevant with social order, social realities. Learnability, yun yung it is flexible, adjustable to learner's ability depending on the ability of the learner. So, kailangan may continuity. So, for example, yan, economic geography. Pag-aralan mo yan ng grade 7 hanggang grade 10 or grade 12. Pero hindi minsanan. Tawag doon, para lang ma-master nila. And according to them, that would give learners effective learning. So it's B, continuity. 14. Which of the following processes usually comes first in developing curriculum? Usually sa curriculum process, anong nauuna? Evaluating educational experiences? Is it identifying learning goals and objectives? Is it selection of educational content or organization of learning experiences?
Object. Letter B.
Nag-uumpisa lagi sa B, identifying learning goals and objective. Because the first and most important part in curriculum development process is B, identification of learning goals, objectives, outcomes. Kasi ito ang magiging basis of the entire education process. Parang tayo din, we are dreaming of becoming a teacher. So, syempre, kailangan mo rin ng goal. Yun ang goal mo. So, now, what will you do? Ayan, kumukuha kayo ng education units, tapos mag-e-exam kayo. Tapos pag may license na, magtuturo na. Kasi because of your goal. So, first, identification of learning goals. Anong susunod dito? Pag may goals na, educational content. Anong ituturo? Tapos susunod, learning experiences. Ano yung mga activities na kailangan mong gawin? Tapos, i-evaluate mo na yung experience. So, that's in the curriculum process. Teacher Dominguito believes that a new respect for the child is for the child is fundamental in curriculum. Thus, all activities in the classroom are geared towards the development of the child as the center of the educative process. To which approach in curriculum does Teacher Dominguito adhere? Very basic. Kasi sabi niya dito, yung child daw ang center of the educative process. So, meaning, the curriculum should be learner-centered. Okay? Pag subject-centered, again, ang focus ay sa content. Pag problem-centered, ang focus ay sa social problems, sa needs, interests, and abilities of the learners. Yung D, pragmatic, ano lang yan, anong tawag doon? Anggulo lang sa option. Mrs. Manuel, the principal of Bagong Barrio Elementary School, invited the barangay captain in the school to solicit inputs for a new curriculum in social science, which highlights indigenous knowledge in the community. What is shown in the curriculum or in this situation? So, in-invite niya ang barangay captain. Community members as supporters of curriculum. Pwede. Community members as curriculum resources. Community members as managers of curriculum and beneficiaries of curriculum. If you try to look at this, yung C, X na yun kasi hindi naman sila magiging manager ng curriculum. Kasi si barangay captain yon. Supporters, pwede, pero hindi naman pwede hanggang supporter lang. Dapat tumulong sila. So, hindi rin pwedeng beneficiary lang sila. So, it is, the best answer is letter B, as curriculum resources. Okay? Kasi, the community members or the members, what else? The materials existing in the community can be of great help, can be a substitute for what are needed to implement the curriculum. Okay? So, kasi kailangan din naman sila. Kaya minsan, they are included in the school board, yung sa parent-teacher community, Minsan, we are also inviting them as resource speakers. Kaya, in general, the barangay is a curriculum resource. Kasi si barangay captain, pwede mong invite siya minsan para magsalita during the school forum or sa event ng school. With this, he will become a curriculum resource. Teacher Bert puts emphasis on the immediate felt interest and needs of his student and not on the anticipated needs and interests. What type of curriculum does Teacher Bert adhere? So when we say immediate felt interest, yung on the spot. Hindi yung tawag doon, yung anticipated needs ng mga bata. So anong design yon? Subject-centered, learner-centered, experience-centered, or culture-based?
Experience.
Yes, it's C, experience-centered. Diba? Ang experience-centered design is, ang sinasabi dito is curriculum cannot be pre-planned. This curriculum, everything had to be done on the spot. Kaya dito is immediate felt interest. So, ang emphasis dito is on the learner's interest and felt needs, yung agarang kailangan nila. Kasi dahil curriculum is ever-changing. Nag-change yan lagi. So, curriculum would also, we as curriculum implementers should address this on the spot, these needs of the learner. What type of curriculum divides the school day into different periods such as language arts, social studies, science and health, arithmetic, etc.? Obviously, it is separate subject. Okay? Kasi na-organize siya into disciplines. Kung math lang siya, English, science, ganon. Okay? Which curriculum design element is taking place when Eduardo, a fourth-year student, can connect the lessons he learned in a subject area to a related content in another subject area? So, element ito ng design. Kung sana kanina ay patterns, nire-relate niya sa ibang subject area, pwede siyang correlated. Pero dito, elements naman. Is it articulation, balance, continuity, or integration?
Integration.
Letter D, integrate. Kasi ini-integrate niya sa ibang subject. Okay? Pag articulation naman, interrelatedness naman of various aspects of the curriculum. Let's say vertical and horizontal aspects of the curriculum pag articulation. What else? Pag balance, there is an distribution, equal distribution of content experiences. Tapos pag continuity, ayun, yung recurring topics, repeated topics. PAFTE or Philippine Association for Teachers and Educators proposed new curriculum for teachers education to make graduates globally competitive. What type of curriculum is this? Yung mga ginagawa ng mga organizations, what else? Mga scholars, experts, sila yung recommended curriculum. Diba? After na may recommended, susulat nila yon. Yun ang written curriculum. Yung mga documents na ibibigay sa school. Tapos, susunod doon ay thought curriculum. Yung activities naman sa classroom na ito gagawin ng teacher. After ng thought curriculum, supported. O itong letter D, anong supported curriculum? Yun naman yung mga materials na gagamitin mo. Mga What else? Resources. And then, after supported, assess. Yung letter A, assess muna sila. Testing, evaluation. And then, the learned curriculum, yun naman yung outcome. Hidden curriculum ang last. Yung mga unintended curriculum. Okay? So, letter B, recommended curriculum. This concept includes the sub-processes of curriculum planning, organization, implementation, and evaluation. Anong tawag doon? Yun yung pinag-aralan natin. It's curriculum development. Basta meron na siyang planning, what else? Designing or organizing, implementing, and then evaluating. After that, curriculum change na, curriculum innovation or curriculum alignment, modification, and so on. 22. If curriculum is the means, what is the end? So, ibig sabihin, ano ang outcome ng ginagawa nating curriculum? Is it a strategy, instruction, a technique, or approach? Kung titingnan mo kasi, tama lahat ito. Pero, mayroon isa dyan ang general. We have instruction. Kasi, strategy, techniques, and approaches are parts of instruction. Kaya nakakagawa tayo ng curriculum, kaya gumagawa tayo ng curriculum para magkaroon ng instruction. Instruction means yung susundin ng teacher para sa pag-deliver ng lesson. So, the end of curriculum is instruction. 23. Which of the following is a characteristic of a good curriculum? A. Complex. B. Continuous. C. Provides order or logical order. 4. The curriculum complements with the programs of the community. A. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1 only, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, obviously, lahat naman na ito ay characteristics of a good curriculum. So, the correct answer here is letter D. All of the following options are characteristics of a good curriculum. Lahat yon. Kaya all of the above. Or 1, 2, 3, and 4. 24. Which of the following statements about the concept of curriculum is not quite acceptable? So, when you say not quite acceptable, acceptable siya pero hindi masyado. Hindi lagi. A. It refers to all experiences that both the school and the teacher provide the students with. Acceptable. It is the set of acquired knowledge, habits, and skills. Correct naman. It consists of everything that goes within the school. Okay naman, pero may word dito na everything. Okay? Letter D, it is a planned action for instruction. Tama. So, it's letter C. Ang medyo hindi. Kasi, hindi naman lahat ay nasa ang tawag doon ay cover ng curriculum. Okay? Like, halimbawa, school facilities, learning environment. So, letter C ang number 24. 25. What process is being undertaken by curriculum developers when they enrich or modify certain aspects of a program without changing its fundamental conceptions? Like, halimbawa, mga ni-revise lang nila o ano tawag doon, minimodify. Is it curriculum improvement, curriculum change, design, or implementation? So, it's letter A, improvement. In-improve lang nila. Kaya meron siyang modification or enrichment. Kasi dito sabi, without changing its fundamental conceptions. So, hindi naman nila totally na pinapalitan. Okay? So, that is curriculum improvement. Number 26. Sa design ulit. What design element establishes the vertical linkage from level to level to avoid glaring gaps and wasteful overlap? Articulation, balance, scope, or sequence? It's articulation. Okay? May vertical, di ba sabi ko kanina, interrelatedness of various aspects of the curriculum, vertical or horizontal. Ito, vertical linkage. So, we call it articulation. Yung balance, it's just the equal distribution of content. Kaya nga may balance. Yung scope, yun yung laman. The breadth, the depth of the curriculum. And then sequence, the order, logical order. 27. What refers to the authenticity of the content selected by the curriculum developer? Authentic. From the word authentic. So it is validity or valid. Diba sa criteria for selecting content? Yung feasibility, probability. Learnability, yung sa learner's ability, kung adjustable siya. Significance, again, that's for relevance. With social realities, social concepts, among others. What do we call the allocation of content to a definite grade capable of learning? Parang lumabas to kanina. It is grade placement. Allocation of content to a definite grade capable of learning. Like, kung pang grade 10 ba ito, dapat sa grade 10 lang. Kung grade 7, grade 7 lang. So, they need to allocate those concepts. Okay? Which pattern of experience-centered curriculum centers around the normal activities of children and is based on each child's needs, interests, and potentials? So, obviously, it is child-centered. Kasi sabi dito, centers around the normal activities of the children. Which curriculum development phase focuses on the change which will take place in a certain aspects of the curriculum without changing the fundamental conceptions? Pareho lang din to. Yung isa kanina. It is letter C, curriculum improvement. Bago lang yung choices. Arrangement of the choices. Okay. Component of curriculum designing. Which one is not a component of curriculum design? When you do the curriculum process, saan dyan yung hindi kino-consider? Is it the objective, learning content, learning experiences, or what? Saan ang hindi component ng curriculum designing? Letter D, diagnosis of needs. Again, ano ba yung apat na elements or components of curriculum? One is aims, goals, and objectives. Second is subject matter or content. Third, learning experiences. And the fourth, instead of diagnosis of needs, these are the evaluation approaches. Mag-evaluate ka na, hindi magda-diagnose. Okay? So, fourth is evaluation approaches. That's why the answer in number 31 is letter D. 32. Which type of curriculum design serves as a response to society's demand for integration of knowledge and enables the learner to see relationships among various aspects? Broad field, correlated, core, or separate subject? O, yung correlated, diba?
Broad field.
So, let's see, letter A, broad field. Yeah. Pag broad field kasi, eto na yung sinasabi na response to society's demand. What else? In here, knowledge will no longer be fragmented or linear. Hindi na siya iisa. But it is multidisciplinary. Ini-integrate natin yung about situations in the society, life, what else, realities of life. Kaya ang broad field, multidisciplinary, multidimensional. Kaya ang clue nyo dito, broad. Broad, it means malawak. Kaya broad field siya. In response to society's demand. Ito pa, various aspects. Kaya broad field. 33. Who controls the subject-centered curriculum? Siyempre, subject-centered yon. Sino bang magtuturo ng subject?
Teacher.
Si teacher. Letter D. To provide individual differences in classroom, how is curriculum designed? Okay. Minimum learning competencies are included. Realistic and meaningful experiences are provided. Some degree of flexibility is provided. Social skills are emphasized. Take note, individual differences. So, if you try to look at the options, okay naman lahat. Pero ang best answer dyan is letter C. Degree of flexibility is provided. Dapat flexible. Diba? Kasi nga, hindi naman lahat ng bata pare-pareho ng mental ability. What else? Hindi sila pare-pareho ng attitudes, values. What else? Learning style. So, dapat may flexibility ang curriculum na i-design mo. To ensure success in curriculum development, which of the following specific actions should a curriculum leader avoid? So take note in that question, saan dyan sa mga specific actions should a curriculum leader ang dapat niyang i-avoid? Work with people over them. Use your status frequently to establish discipline. Keep channels of communication open. Show that you too desire to improve. So, si letter B ang dito, parang negative. Using your status. So, dapat yun ang i-avoid. Letter B. Which of the following is a reason for the continuous appraisal or evaluation of the existing curriculum in all levels? Ano daw ang reason kung bakit continuous ang pag-evaluate, pag-assess sa curriculum na meron tayo in all levels? A. new national policies in the government. B. Changing needs and condition of society, economic status of the people, political trust of the country. It is letter B. Because of the changing needs and the condition of society, kaya continuous ang pag-evaluate, pag-assess sa ating curriculum. Kasi kung hindi na siya effective, depending on the kind of society na meron tayo ngayon, kailangan nang i-modify, kailangan nang i-enrich, kailangan bang i-revise, or totally na papalitan. Primarily because of the changing needs and condition of the society. Which of the following best defines curriculum development? Curriculum development, ito yung buong pinag-aaralan natin sa curriculum. Is it the total mental phenomena directly received at any given time? Is it the planning of learning opportunities intended to bring about certain desired changes in pupils and assessment of the extent to which these changes have taken place? Is it a continuous cycle of activities in which all elements of curriculum are considered? Or letter D, education is aiding each child to be socially creative individuals. So, all options are correct. Pero ang best answer dito is letter B. Bakit letter B? Kasi ang curriculum development, di ba nag-uumpisa lagi yan sa planning. Ito planning siya. Ito naman letter C kasi continuous cycle. Sabi niya, hindi mo alam kung saan ka mag-uumpisa. Okay din sana yung letter C. But letter B, start ka sa planning, tapos papunta ka sa assessment or evaluation. (38) If the teacher provides content that will contribute to the basic ideas, principles to achieve the goal of the curriculum, this is termed as significance, interest, utility, or ethics. Si teacher daw nagbibigay ng content that will contribute to the basic ideas and principles. So it is significance kasi relevant yung binibigay na content ni teacher. Okay? The significance of the curriculum is seen when the content or the subject matter will contribute to the basic needs, basic principles, basic ideas, concepts, okay, just to attain or just to achieve the overall aim of the curriculum. So ano ba yung laman ng subject matter dyan? Dapat nagde-develop siya ng cognitive, affective, and psychomotor skills of the learners. What do you call the curriculum when the teacher puts into action all the different planned activities in the classroom? Yung planned activities, yun yung written. Pero pag ginawa niya into action, magiging thought curriculum na siya. Diba? Remember niyo yung types of curriculum operating in schools. Recommended, ito yung pinopost pa lang ng mga scholars, professional organizations. Tapos, yung nagawa nila into document, yun yung written. Like yung mga syllabus na ibibigay sa school, yung mga teacher's guide. Tapos, thought curriculum, yun na yung planned activities na ituturo ng teacher. Tapos, supported, ito yung mga gagamitin ni teacher sa pagtuturo. like mga resources, textbooks, and other educational technologies. 40, which statement about the subject-centered curriculum is not true? Subject-centered, ha? Subject-centered. There is a high level of cooperative interaction. It covers much content in a short period of time. The teacher has full control of the classroom activities. The main task is mastery of learning. Yung hindi daw. Letter C, okay, kasi si teacher ang may control sa subject-centered na curriculum. So, okay yan. Mastery of learning, yes, kasi subject. So, it is, since it is subject curriculum, wala siyang cooperative interaction. Okay? Kasi nga, nakafocus lang siya sa content. Kasi sa subject-centered design, di ba? Sa content siya nakafocus. #41. Schools divide, parang meron na naman to kanina. School hour subjects such as reading, grammar, literature, math, science, history, and geography. That is what we call a subject-centered curriculum. Nare-rephrase lang yung question, pero same lang din. Which is not a description of the learner-centered curriculum. It focuses on the child, on the learner. A, emphasis is on the total growth and development of the learner. Total growth means holistic. Correct. Controlled and cooperatively directed by learners, teachers, and parents. Correct. Education is a means to develop social, creative individual. Individual yan. So, tama din. And letter D, emphasis upon facts and knowledge for future use. So, mas vague yung letter D. So, letter D is the answer. Okay? So, hindi siya description ng learner-centered curriculum. When politicians, administrators, and specialists participate in the making of the curriculum, this is said to be under which curriculum level? Saan sila dyan? Experiential, from the word experience. Instructional, instruction, ibig sabihin sa classroom, sa school. Institutional, ito yung sa school system. Or societal. Societal kasi may politicians doon and specialists. So they are or they belong to the societal level. Di ba? In societal level, it includes participation of stakeholders like professionals, politicians. Tapos,
Hindi po ba institutional?
Pag institutional,
kasi may administrators.
Hindi, pero meron naman kasing politicians, ma'am, tsaka specialist. Pag institution kasi, within the school na yun. So, yung mga specialist, hindi din sila kasama, tsaka politicians. Kaya societal level sila. Pag institutional, yun na yung mga philosophy, yung lesson plan, within the school, ang ginagawa. Pag instructional naman, yun yung sa teacher, yung mga strategy na gagamitin niya, yung mga materials na gagamitin niya. And then, experiential naman, para sa mga bata yun. Yung the students are not able to use and experience the curriculum. Okay? Let's say, for example, it may or may not fit the learner's abilities due to individual differences. At least, meron pa rin siyang experience. So, that is experiential. Okay? So, yun yung level. Pag experiential sa estudyante, learner. Instructional sa teacher. Institution within the school. Like yung mga teaching guides, lesson plans. Pag societal, outside na siya. Outside of the school. Kasi ang administrator naman, pwede rin outside of the school eh. Like mga school boards, mga governing council, school governing council. Ang clue nyo na lang dito is politicians and specialists. They are not part of the school, pero part sila ng society na nakikiparticipate sa paggawa ng curriculum. So, letter D, societal. What refers to an individual or group of individuals who have a direct or indirect influence in curriculum development? So, we call them stakeholders. Sino ba yung mga stakeholders? Lahat. Community, lawmakers, professionals. Siyempre, school-based, lahat ng nasa school. And then community-based. If you recall, mga school-based, mga teachers, learners. Okay? Sa community-based, yung mga publishers ng books, lawmakers, the community officers, and other professionals who have a direct or indirect influence in making the curriculum. What refers to the appropriateness of the content in the light of the particular students who are to experience the curriculum? Appropriateness. Yung, let's say, pwede mo siyang i-adjust talaga sa kind of student na meron ka para ma-experience nila yung curriculum. Is it significance, validity, interest, or learnability? It's learnability. Ability, learner's ability yon. So, appropriateness of content sa particular student, diba? Pag learnability kasi, adjustable. Pwede mong i-adjust, depende sa kaya ng mga bata. Depende sa ability ng mga learners mo. Kaya, appropriateness of the content. Which of the following is not acceptable? Instruction is the actual engagement of learners in the planned learning activities. Acceptable. B. Curriculum determines what assessments should be done and how to do it. Correct. Diba? C. Instruction requires teachers to use variety of action to accomplish a variety of function. Correct din naman. Letter D. Assessment establishes what is to be accomplished in teaching and learning. Tama ba letter D? Hindi. Kasi, ano ba ang dapat na i-accomplish in teaching and learning? Ano ang i-establish doon? Hindi assessment. Kasi assessment sa dulo yun. Evaluation na yun. So, what establishes the things to be done in teaching and learning, nasa planning pa lang dapat. Okay? Nasa identification of goals and objectives. Yun yung i-accomplish natin. So, hindi assessment. Kasi ang assessment sa dulo yan. Okay? Like, for example, pag nagturo ka, pag gusto mong malaman kung ano ang natutunan nila, you give quiz, you give evaluation summary. That is assessment. So, letter D is not acceptable statement. Nagets niyo yun? Assessment establishes what is to be accomplished. Hindi. Dapat yung ano yun, yung instruction, yung planning.
Objectives.
Yes, objectives of your lesson. Yun yung ini-establish natin para ma-accomplish mo in the teaching and learning process. Which characteristic of a good curriculum highlights a psychological nature of the learner? O psychological. Provisions are made for smooth transition and continuing achievement of pupils. Curriculum plans in areas which are extend which extend over several years, are developed vertically. Classroom practices give attention to the maturity of and learning problems of each pupil. D. Cooperative planning and teaching provide for exchange of information about pupils' learning experiences. Tama lahat ito, pero saan dyan yung may psychological nature of the learner? Yung letter B, several years, so historical ito. Letter C, kasi maturity, di ba? Maturity and learning problems of each pupil. Kaya pinag-aralan natin noon yung sa psychological foundations of curriculum. Makikita mo dun yung attention to the maturity and learning problems of each pupil. Like, syempre kung natututo sila, nagmamature, or yung level of maturity nila is intended for this particular lesson or for that particular grade level. So, yung classroom practices should give attention to the maturity and learning problems of each pupil. That's a psychological nature of the learner. Objectives must be evaluated in the light of practical considerations, including teacher competence, availability of instructional materials, time allotment. What characteristics of educational objective is defined by the aforementioned statement? Ini-evaluate daw yung objectives mo based sa competence ng teacher, availability ng gagamitin mong materials for instruction, time allotment, and many others. So, that is what we call as feasibility. Okay? Content selection. Ito ay about sa content selection. Should be considered within the context of the existing realities in school, in society, and in government. So, it should be feasible. Feasible, attainable, ganun siya. Probable. Okay. Which of the following accurately describes an experience-centered curriculum? Mastery of the subject matter. Correct din. Hindi, sa subject, ano yon? Subject-centered yon. Learner-centered bang experience? The learning is provided in a step-by-step series. D is that it does not consider learner's capacity for growth. So, letter B. Siyempre, experience-centered. Kaninong experience yon? Mga bata. Diba? Kasi when we say experience-centered curriculum, it is also a learner-centered kasi nakafocus tayo sa experiences ng mga bata. And this approach gives emphasis on yung total development ng mga bata. Like mental, social domain, intellectual domain, yung holistic domain ng isang bata. Like yung mga interest nila, needs of the learners, this will serve as the basis for selection of the subject matter na ma-experience ng mga bata. Okay? Kasi yung letter A, letter C, and D are more on subject-centered curriculum. A, C, and D are more on subject-centered curriculum. And 50, last number, as a member of the curriculum committee, your chief concern is to give the child freedom to choose what to learn and believe as you allow them to set their own identities and standards. What philosophy do you consider if you are a curriculum developer, a member of the curriculum committee. Ano ang clue nyo dito? Existentialism, realism, idealism, pragmatism. Freedom. Give the child freedom to choose. Diba? Pag freedom to choose, it is existentialism. Yun yung clue natin sa existentialist or existentialism. So, we will have more practice tests soon or later on. Did you get at least 30 points out of 50? Or even 25 points, half of the 50? Okay po, any questions?
Wala na po.
Okay, so kung wala na po, see you again next meeting.